Hello, Culture Matters podcast. Stop your car, pull over, put the seatbelt on before I introduce you to our guest. Here's a quote just for this episode. My ego is not going to take me through life. My vanity is not going to take me through life. Me serving others is going to take me through life. Regan
What's
Weiss.
up, buddy?
Our guest today is the one and only Regan Weiss. He's been on the show before. If you haven't listened to episode 821 of season 69, get over there after this episode. If you don't know about the contractor package portal hub, the hub network, if you're not on YouTube watching this, see that shirt right there. Pay close attention because Reagan's going to come in a million miles an hour. He's an author of Keep Going. He's a waterfall connoisseur, jumper, flyer. You can't fly the flag. You have to crawl the flag. And a great friend of the Culture Matters podcast. And man, one of the best memories of what year was that? 2025. Was that this year that
Just
we met?
last, no, it
Oh,
was last year, 24.
okay. One of the best memories of 2024 when we met at that event. And hopefully more of those in the future. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having me. And I would just like to say, once again, the relationships that you have cultivated, my friend, have led to amazing things. And that's what you do. You
Thanks.
build culture, but you build relationships. And I love you for that, man. Thank you so much.
Where it's like you're talking in the mirror. I mean, what since you were on last,
Yeah.
we've both been busy. What are some of the wins?
Um,
What have you learned?
Well, you know what's one of the first wins was last year when we were talking in 2024 when we actually met at that event with Brad. You know, of course, Brad. We're having a good time. We're relaxing. We're having no drinks. None of us were drinking. We were having
Nope.
lemonades and all that fun stuff. And Brad talked about being on the podcast, and then I talked to you about being on it, and you gave me a fresh reminder that Brad needs to be reminded because he's inundated. He's inundated. So I really love the fact that you threw him a fresh reminder, and then when you threw him the reminder, 37 days later, I'm on Dropping Bombs podcast. So I
Oh,
appreciate you
snap.
very
Yeah,
much for
what was
that.
that like? That's an amazing
That
show.
was
I
cool.
mean,
Honestly, that was really
I have
cool.
relationships after five, 6 years because of that show.
Oh wow.
So how was it? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. No. It was great. It's Brad, and the cool thing is, it's you see the years of Brad before you build a relationship where you talk to him, and he's just a good guy. He's just a good guy that likes to have discussions with you. Once that fame dies down, you just see he's like a normal guy. It's friendship, and now we have relationships, and the guy wants to play me in chess all the time.
Oh, you play? You play?
Yeah. I downloaded the app, and so I guess we're going to
Wow.
be playing some chess.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, he's really
Yeah.
good at that. I know him and Branson went bat to bat.
Yeah. I
What
don't
would
really
you
want to
say?
talk about me for a second. I want to talk about you meeting the man on stage, Dr. Peterson. Yeah.
Uh,
That was amazing.
did you
Amazing.
watch the interview?
Yes. And I watched I watched it first time. I wanted to rewatch it again because I was just like, I can't believe this is happening right now. It was, I really can't believe that you were on stage with that man. It was like, because I remember you telling me about it and it was going to
Thanks.
happen. And then you start seeing all the highlights and the reels. And I'm like, it was impressive, man. How was it? Let me ask you, how was it with him? Like, is he the same guy on stage than behind the stage?
He's a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently I've had a couple guests that they were because they were relationships of mine. I asked them to listen to the episode to give me feedback, because I
Oh,
want to
okay.
ask you, like,
Right.
hey, what do you think I could have done better? What did you get from this? And some of the feedback of people that weren't familiar with Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's work, for those that aren't, they had some unsettling things. Like they had misconceptions, like they hadn't read the books, they hadn't
Oh, okay.
seen who he is. So to answer your question, such a kind, very inquisitive,
Mm.
yes, like really leans in.
Hmm.
He leans in. He asks a lot of questions. So for example, what is this event about? Who's in the audience? Why am
Mm.
I here? What do they need to hear? Like all about
Right.
service and giving.
Servicing. Right.
And you know, I would say, yeah. So, and thanks for asking. That means a lot, and that shows anyone that's listening. This is who Regan Weiss is. It's who you are, like, you know, leaning in, like, hey, you know, how was the interview?
Yeah.
That's how Dr. Peterson showed up when the cameras weren't rolling, and I had that opportunity to, you know, I've been reading the textbook for almost 7.5, maybe 8 years. I got, hey, you know, will you sign the maps of meaning? It's every page is highlighted. It's been a very important textbook that we've used for our corporate
Of course.
advisory. And you know, it was like he said, it was nice to he signed it and said, you know, it's great to see a well-worn book.
That's awesome.
You know,
That's cool.
I said I want the signature because I have Warren Buffett's grass right next to me in a jar, and I use it to get energy. I look at it when I'm tired.
That's
And
awesome.
I think he thought that was an interesting, but yeah, very genuine, very just who you'd hope.
Yeah. Well, they always say, right, sometimes it's best not to meet your heroes. So that didn't happen with this guy, right? He
I think
fulfilled your dream.
maybe it's interesting. It might be best not to meet your heroes if you're going to act like Satan. Because wasn't he a top angel? He kind of was right next to his hero for like a while.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know. There's something revealing about that quote. You know, what does it say about our culture? What does it say about the emissary? I had another big, let's say, opportunity to interview. If anyone that isn't familiar with Dr. Ian McGilchrist, he wrote a book called The Master and His Emissary. I share an excerpt later if we get really caffeinated. But in the book, it's this dichotomy of the master and his emissary, and there's like a betrayal between the emissary to the master. And that's what I think about when you say, you know, don't meet your heroes. It's like, well, are they heroes or are they false idols?
True.
So I would say that, yeah. Anyway, no, yeah, it was
did you have more time with him after the interview?
Mostly before to prepare.
Okay.
And it was yeah, very meaningful, and it was you know, significant. Yeah, it was yeah, after, you know, there's a photo op and you want to give people the opportunity to have that moment with somebody that likely has potentially changed their whole life, their whole way of showing up in the world. What did you have what takeaway, if anything, from the, and what do you think I could have done better to get more out of? Did you watch the
honestly,
keynote?
Jay, for all of it, on a personal level, for my relationship that I have with you now, I didn't notice a break in your delivery, whether you were talking to me or Dr. Peterson. Like, I didn't see. I was expecting maybe a little nervousness from you, because I kind of talked to you a little bit prior about your excitement coming up to this event.
Yes.
So I heard that kind of, you know, excitement. You're almost like childlike, right? You were excited. Like, I'm interviewing this guy. This is insane. But when you were on stage, even keeled, like, that's my take. Like, to watch you in that interview and not break and not treat him like celebrity status and just go into an interview, that was impressive. To me, that was impressive.
Thank you.
Like, it's because some people can't handle that, especially knowing they're going to meet someone they've always wanted to interview. So it makes, like, they get giddy, they can't control their behavior, their emotions. You didn't have any of that, man. That was impressive. That's my major takeaway out of anything. Like, I listened to Dr. Peterson forever, right? Like, but to watch you interview him, that was the coolest thing for me. I was more excited about that than listening to him, to be frank. You know? So hats off to you. And then also, I didn't answer your question in regards to celebration, that things that happened since the last time we talked. The hubnetwork.com is officially launched. So that is pretty awesome. So now you can go on the hubnetwork.com, and it's a directory local for Tampa Bay for businesses that we actually vet. My business partner and I, Jordan Lung, who I need you to interview and meet.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, but So now the directory is launched. These are people that have 4.0 ratings or above. It's people that we believe that give back to the community. It's people that we believe that are involved in community involvement. So it's not just, oh, okay, they're a good business. It's, do they give back to the community? How much are their volunteer hours? Are they involved? What do they do? How's their video content? How's their social media look like? How's their personal social media look like? Like, we're actually vetting these people and having real collaboration relationships with them. It's also a training network for small business owners. So you actually can get to go on there, and there's hundreds of hours of videos from Tampa Bay's best business owners. You have human resource officers, you have CPAs, you have people in the physical athletes that are trainers that are telling people how they have to get their their bodies right if they want their mind right as business owners. I mean, there's so many things to it. Plus a network on top of that. It's pretty awesome.
What are the people that are contributing? What do they say about the contribution, the effort to contribute, the process of contribution?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you an example. Marcia Corzero Alfaro. I would like to introduce you to her one day. Phenomenal individual, human resource officer, travels to Italy, travels all over the world, in human resources. So her life is psychological behavior of humans, right? Especially in HR, she has to juggle a lot of emotions. So our goal was to get her in and literally talk about that aspect of it and say, hey, if you're a business owner and if you're looking for actually a fractional HR officer as well, she's for hire. So she comes on as a business and says, hey, these are the things to look for. This is how you hire people. This is the psychological questions you should be asking people. Like, this stuff, it's priceless. So you have those kind of individuals that are the givers, if you will, from business owners. But then you're asking like the people that are looking, the potential business owners or small business owners that are looking for the information, they find it priceless because you have to pay tens of thousands of dollars. You have to go to a meeting, or you go to a seminar, like a normal our seminars. People pay thousands of dollars for these seminars. You're paying $50 a month and you're on this thing and you're getting, the highest tier on that is only $150 and you get everything, including networking. So it's a heck of a deal. I'm getting good feedback is the answer.
And I see you on Facebook in a studio.
Yes. So
we have on location.
Yes. So it's actually, there's a company called Four & Co. I'll send you the info on it. It's called Four & Co. It's a co-working space in North Tampa Bay, Land O'Lakes, Florida. And there's 100 businesses, Jay, within this co-workspace. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it's top of the line podcast studio. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's like a WeWork situation, but very, very localized. And it's full. And imagine that every day, on top of your normal network, you have access to 100 business owners right there in that office. It's pretty awesome.
How have you approached that dynamic? Have you met people with intention through that?
Absolutely.
Some people really struggle with connecting. It's so close, but it could feel so far.
Right. You know what's so funny, Jay? That it's so funny to be in a building when there's 100 people in there, and because of the phone, because people have become introverts, because of the phone, they'll just walk right by you. So me being 47, being me 47 years old, prior to all of this technology, I'm still that guy that's like, hey, who are you? How you doing? How can we meet? How can I help you today? Right? How can I help you today? And I've learned as of recently, my friend, the number 3. And the number 3 is very important in my life now because everything comes before me. Everything comes before I do. God comes before me, number 1, 2, and people come before me, number 2. Right? So I'm number 3. Number 3 is now the most important thing. And my whole life, I'm number 1. We're the best. I'm the number 1. I want to be number 3. I need to put people ahead of me, to put everyone else ahead of me. And that's the goal. So when I talk to these people, I kind of put that culture and that mindset into them that we're all number 3. And how can we all help each other all the time? Wow. Hope that makes sense.
We are all number 3.
Yeah.
Hey, what are some behaviors that you've witnessed in clients, in potential client, people you've observed in business, some behaviors that it's showing that they have that upside down, like they're number 1?
A lot of boastfulness, we are in a society where I'm okay with celebrating your accolades. I think you should be able to celebrate your accolades with people amongst your peers, as long as they appreciate it equally just as much as you do, in my opinion. But then I see the people that it's okay, look at my shiny whatever, and that's the only thing we're talking about because that's all the goal. But once that's met and the goal's met and the shiny things are done, what's your pull out of that? What's your gratification out of that? It's really nothing. It dies down really quickly. So I see those and I'm like, that's not, it's important in the moment, but it's really not. The long term, the long game, it's not important at all. So unfortunately, boastfulness is, but I go to the people with the boastfulness and I'm like, hey, okay, you're successful, but now how can we go helping other people right now? So that's the goal. I see that a lot. What do you think? What do you think?
Not asking questions, I think, undermines like that. I love. Hey, have you? Oh, now I gotta. Let me answer your question. Or
No.
I need to. Okay. What do I think of how? Yeah, forgetting where we came from.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and I think even just you leaning in and asking me, making this a conversation, like what I think. Okay, start off where I lack the resources. I lack the reputation. If I'm the founder, I'm that business owner, I'm starting, I might lack the resources that I'll have someday, lack the reputation of, hey, he did it.
Yeah.
Leaning in, finding out what customers need or potential customers need. It's like, well, of course it's like I'm gonna lean in. When I get to the top of the mountain, maybe everyone's coming at me. I'm not called as much to ask those questions because everybody's asking me what I think. I could just talk all the time.
Yeah.
Like, so the humility that you show, in that, like, because and especially as a successful person, and I consider you a very successful person.
Thank you, Joe.
And yeah, and that's something big to me, is the leaning in, like exemplifying the inquiry. And then you asked me one of the things about Dr. Peterson. That was something that I don't think he had to do, was ask questions to me or anybody else, because everybody's so preoccupied sharing their life story to him. He could just say nothing.
Correct.
So, like, the way that ever since you met, you've always leaned into people, and I think that's so important. That's my answer to.
It's funny you say that, because of the relationship that we both built with Lance Bachman as well. And I went on Lance's podcast and in Philly. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that.
In February, and I want to tell you, and I don't know if you saw my I know you're a busy guy, but I'll send you the clip.
Yeah, please. No, send me the whole thing.
I'll send you the clip. I'll give you the clip notes because I know you're a busy guy. But when I met with Lance, has no problem telling this story. When I met with Lance, he invited me to the house, which I thought, I took an honor in that. It wasn't just, hey, meet me at LB Capital. It was like, hey, meet me at my house, and then we're going to do the ice bath, we're going to do the sauna. We're going to.
I want to ask about that.
Yeah, which was cool. Which was really cool.
Down too.
But what was crazy is that I was there when he told me to be there. Right, I Ubered over. I actually rented a car, went over, and something was off. I sensed it when I pulled in the driveway, and literally, and I'm knocking, and the door wasn't answered, and I'm like, all right, let me hit him up a couple times. You know how Lance, he doesn't barely answer the phone. I'm like, all right, something's up. So finally, he comes out. I'm like, Lance, I hear a door open. I'm like, Lance, yeah. And then it clicked when he saw me, and I could just tell he was off. And he's like, do me a favor, go to the office, go down into the wrestling room area, give me a minute. He goes in the house. Now, mind you, this is the first time I'm invited to his home. It's our first real interaction other than Marco Island, right? Wow. He's like, go down there. I'll be there in a minute. Dude, 5-10 minutes goes by. I'm like, all right. I just start doing push-ups. I'm just doing my normal routine until like maybe he's got. So I come down. He's like, hey man, what's up? But a different version of Lance. And we're sitting there. He's like, hey, come on up, man. And we're going to go in the sauna really quick. I'm like, okay. So usually I'm thinking you go to the gym first, then sauna, but he reversed it. Whatever. I don't care. It's Lance's territory. I'm just going with the flow, right? I'm in his jungle, right? And his eye contact was off. His disposition was off. Finally, I'm like, are you okay? Lance, are you okay? And he just looked at me, bro. He's like, no one's ever asked me if I'm okay.
That's awesome.
He was off, dude. He just got in a fight with his kids. Just that morning, their kids were bickering. He had to deal with that, handle the household. He was very open about it. But it was really cool because when I didn't think anything of it except asking, like, are you okay? but he brought it up on our podcast, which I thought was really awesome, which made it had an impact. And the reason
Yeah,
why
that's who he is. Yeah.
the reason why I brought it up, brother, is
Yeah.
because how many of us are at that level? No one asks if we're okay. No one asks if Jay Duran's okay. No one asks if Dr. Jordan Peterson's okay. We're expected to hear. Okay, we just hear it and hear the heap of
Sure.
stuff, but we got our own shit too. So I think
That's
it's
cool.
important to tell people you're number 3 and start asking first start asking first to see how you can help them out.
My experience of Lance on his show is he prepares, he asks good questions.
Yes, he was
How was that experience?
He was very prepared in that. And I will tell you right now, whatever rep he had doing his due diligence on me he had a list of stuff, and I'm sure AI was involved as well. But he had a bunch of questions, and they were really great questions. And I think we veered off a lot too because we got personal about relationships and your spouses and this and that. So it was great. It was a great thing, and we built the relationship. And now I'm speaking at the next event in Marco Island. So
congratulations! When is that?
It's in December. I know that. I know it's in December.
What would be your call to action to our audience of why who should be there? Why?
I think, well, specifically because obviously he's in the roofing industry. So I think anybody that's in the roofing industry that wants to scale needs to be there. But I do think small business owners, especially blue collar business owners, need to be in that room whether they're talking about roofing or not, because there's so many strategies that you could build and scale a business that doesn't have to do just with roofing, can do kind of contracting, gutters, painting companies. It doesn't matter. Contractors, they should be there. But for me personally, I'm going to talk about community involvement, grassroots marketing, how it's still very important. I'm going to touch on that.
Say that last piece against the audio got
grassroots
community
marketing.
Involvement. Okay.
I'm going to do grassroots marketing, community involvement is what I'm going to talk on. How people, they don't need, don't get away from that. Everyone thinks they should just go to Facebook or they should go to Instagram or they should just use Snapchat or LinkedIn, and they don't realize they still have to press the flesh. And a lot of people are forgetting about grassroots marketing. It's unfortunate.
And now you have a podcast now?
Yeah, so we're doing one. I actually got from that office at Foreign.Co. Absolutely. Yep.
What's it called?
The Shit Show.
What is it?
The Shit Show.
I love. Does the word shit stand for anything yet? Like
nope.
Successful.
Nope. We might use an
heroes,
acronym for it,
intense.
but at the end of the day, it's everyone says, "Oh, look at this shit show," and we're we'll figure out something. But we're just having fun with it right now.
And can we listen to it on? Is it live yet?
Everything you're doing, I'm eventually doing right now. We're doing all the raw and uploading it just via social, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Yeah.
Okay. So when did you start? When was the first day?
I want to say the first one. I mean, it was only 2 months ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah. So we're gonna get that going, and then.
And are people coming to it mostly?
Yeah. So what I want to do is, I put out a call to action. Hey, business owners, local business owners, if you're interested. And I had the first one came up and had 4 people, so I called it that episode. I called it the 4 Horsemen. And
wow, I love that.
I put 4 people on each side of a table, and then we just went questions straight on, about business, similar to the things that we all talk about, but relative to the community and to the area.
What did you learn from having 4 people? That's a feat.
It is, especially when you have a conservative versus a non-conservative versus a veteran in the room, then a non-veteran in the room, and you see the different perspective of all these different business owners and why things are important to them and why even the community involvement, how they view things differently. It's eye-opening to balance different attitudes and emotions from these business owners. But at the end goal, they all want to be recognized. Like that's the end goal, right? But they don't realize how simple it is, man. And a lot of these business owners, they overthink it, Jay. A small business owners overthink like crazy. And I'm like, why are we having these same discussions years later? Like, here's the recipe of success. Just go follow it. But they're defeated in themselves. They're defeated in their own doubt. They're listening to their mom, their dad, their wife, their this, their that. People that don't know when they should just be going with their gut, because the gut's connected to this, and that's why it's telling you where to go.
I'm proud that I'm recording this on a Surface Pro 9.
Why?
This is because Because to your point, if I waited till we
Yes.
had the
Right. Right.
studio, all the people I never would have met, all of the relationships, all of the conversations, all of the community would just be in my nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm responsible as I have I because I started this, I got to finish it. I started Culture Matters.
Right.
We have to grow. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's, the studio that's
Do
coming, right?
you see
But
it kind of like Brian Hess? Like, do you want that kind of a studio, like a Brian Hess type studio?
well, one that would be respectable and
Right.
yeah, the more well, the studio has to reflect who we are, what we
Mm,
stand for.
right.
And um, gratefully, my wife, vision, competence, and the team will be able to make sure, just like how I wear the right color socks today versus 10 years ago, it will represent the
Right.
best of who we have to be for the for people. So like, meaning that's my way of saying, that won't be me, and say, hey, we're gonna have a, that's not my I'm gonna
Are
stay
you
in my
really
culture lane, you know what I'm
are you
saying?
gonna build a space? You're
Yeah.
really gonna build a space and do that out a full office
of
or studio?
of course, that's that's part of the of course, hey, every business is values, and
Right.
models reflect values. For us, those that we get to serve, they come first.
Right. Right. Right.
So how their, studios and things look and how that's represented is gonna, come before us. And so that's like kind of the,
I
so
get
yeah,
it.
the answer to your question, that's absolutely, I think,
I,
vital for the culture,
yeah,
for the culture.
I think so.
It's
I
an
mean,
inevitability,
you're
but
deserving of that. Your brand is deserving of that. 100%.
oh,
Like, long time ago. You need it now. But like you said,
I appreciate that.
I'm glad you didn't, because otherwise you wouldn't have had as many as you had now. Because if you had to wait to build the studio and then professional camera and professional editing and all, you wouldn't have had as many as episodes, in my opinion.
It's well, that's the reason I brought that up, was to your point. Like, I think that's something we share philosophically, and I hope that my story exemplifies just starting
Right.
and what could come of that.
I agree.
It was relationships that led, like actual relationships that led to the opportunity with the doctor. It's
Mm.
always been relationships. It's always been what I want the audience to be, to grasp and conceptualize, that if they believe in our journey and our institution up to this point, if they
Right.
know the show and they know what we teach and stand for, what you're teaching is what's been done.
Right.
Like, if they like me, hey, listen to Reagan. He's teaching this. This is what works. Like,
Yeah.
because I just started one day. Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta put this out there.
Hmm.
And so yeah, that proud in the sense that we can have an engaging, fun, value creating conversation, person to person. And I, culture wise, I just like, that's got to be that first. The order.
Yeah.
Now I'll give you an example, like, so let's say I have all the flash. The guest comes in. I don't know who they are,
Hmm.
where they're from,
Hmm.
what they like, what they don't, what they know, what they don't. Top it off. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's true.
I just want something.
Hmm.
I don't even know what it is, but I just want to, like, that has always turned me away.
Mm.
I don't see that as the culture is like, here we are. We have a
Right.
relationship.
Right.
Here it is. The audience now gets to be with us at dinner.
It's true.
This is it.
Yeah.
So that's been the vision for the show. This the purpose of the Culture Matters podcast is to uncover the genius of our guest. The goal is to make curiosity cool, because our vision is that human culture is open, curious, and focused on creating the future.
Mm.
And thank you, Reagan, for helping me make that happen by coming on the show. Now, this isn't the end, but I'm just saying it's like
I
it's
get
who
it.
you are. You're a leader. You lean in.
I wish more of us did. I mean, I'm not perfect, buddy. None of us are, right? But I think that's why we're able to lead. I was talking. Do you know Patrick Carr, the blue collar millionaire? I need to introduce you to him.
No, what are
Patrick Carr, blue collar millionaire. He's out of Orlando, Florida. He has a marketing and videography company. The guy's big guy, big muscle guy, um, well spoken, very articulate. He's got Blue Collar Millionaire podcast. I was on it, and we were actually talking about specifically that and regarding going and finding the talent in other people. And one of the things that he struggles with is being the number one. And I told him, you know, he has some self inflection that he's not a good number one. And I said, I believe he is a good number one. He was just, you know, self defeat, if you will. Um, he's a great number one because he recognizes his shortcomings. He's willing to talk about it, and then he finds number two and number three to fill his shortcomings. That's what makes a great number one. And so, kind of like what you were talking about regarding finding and discovering the talent of individuals that you have on your show.
wow.
You know? And anyway,
Wow.
I'm going to introduce you to him, and he's going to be there as well in September. So that's something I would love for you to be
For
there.
our listeners that are hesitant to connect their network, you sit them down, connect their, because even just in this conversation, it's like your mind clicks. Oh, I got somebody you need to know, and I know
Don't you
who
do
you
you
are.
think that's a trained skill or that's something you just have? Because you have the same thing. Like it's the mental Rolodex in your head when you're driving down the road, you see a blank canvas and you go, oh, that's not for me, but that's for Reagan, or that's for Jay, or that's for this guy or that guy. Right? Like you just have that or you don't. I can't because if like I said,
Have you always had it?
I've always looked at things as a blank canvas for quite some time. I mean, I'm 47. This is definitely over a decade now. I can recollect over a decade where I'm driving down the road and I would say, that's not for me, but that's for this guy. Let me call him. Hey man, I saw an opportunity. Here you go. You know, how long have you been like that?
I had it and then I turned it off.
Ah,
It was like I had it and then I had it and then I repressed it. The first
why?
introduction I made, I had to learn how to say at some point in my journey, I believed it would benefit me to learn no, because I only had yes.
That hurts you for sure.
And so it's actually in 30 Days of Thought. I don't recall the exact page, but because I'm working through the book again. It's my first book. And it's called, there's a metaphor, fairly dramatic title, but it's saying no to the homeless.
Mm.
And it's about not lying to homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether that's, example, you walk down the street, somebody asks for money
Yeah.
and you don't look at them, or you say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know, you know, I don't have any money, like, or but you do,
Everyone's got it. Right. Right.
or there's a story like, oh, they're just going to spend it on, but we don't know that.
Right.
That's a story based on like statistics. And
Yeah.
so it's about rationalization. This like this excerpt, this writing, self-rationalizing. It's about avoiding conflict and the ability to discern between yes and no has, I think, a relationship with vision, plan, courage, faith. And so in my adolescence, when I was working through this, coward to leader, like the two extremes, or uh, and this is to answer your question. Developing a capacity to say no, um, serve me, and um, Nietzsche said, "Be careful when casting out your demons; you don't lose the best of yourself."
Mm.
So, like everything, I go a little too far, and so there was a time. This is where the story gets. Oh my God! You know, Blaise Pascal said there are no coincidences. A coincidence. No, he said a coincidence is 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 when God wants it to be anonymous.
Mm.
Blaise Pascal.
I
He
never
wrote
heard that. I never
Blaise
heard that.
Pascal. He was a genius mathematician, and he wrote a
Yeah.
book called Thoughts, Pense. And in the beginning, he's, it's like good versus evil. It's half the book is against theology, the other half is, and like you've heard of, like the Pascal's wager is a famous thing that people hear about, and it's
Mhm.
about faith. Anyway, so Blaise Pascal said, coincidence is when God wants to remain anonymous. Oh, remain anonymous. Okay. Here's where I'm going with this. This is giving me chills.
Mm.
The first introduction. So I cut the introductions up. That was like some of the some things that I had lost along the way trying to figure out how to create, how to say no, how to be
Right.
more clear. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Years later, I said, I'm gonna take this back up. And so I for about it's been 2 years, I make intros on the phone.
Right.
Mike, meet Bob, Bob, meet Mike. This is what okay. The first introduction that I made in years.
Mm.
Lance. Lance, you there? Yeah, yeah. Hold on. I'm calling my buddy. Brad, you there?
Oh, Rick, stop
Brad.
it.
Brad. Hey, listen, Lance, I've known Lance for 8 years, 9 years. I don't even know how long at this point. One day I showed up at his office with a camera. He let me in. I interviewed him. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing, like I just told, I've known him forever.
Right.
Lance, Brad, you already know of, he's a, he, I, he's family. He
Yeah.
7 years friendship, been a mentor. We've worked together. He's a genius. He's made
Right.
everybody who they are like, and this is funny. 12 minutes into the introduction, I'm like sweating. I was actually at Hess's office, like pacing in one of the offices, and because we were doing work together that week, and Brian Hess and Brad goes after 12 minutes. I'm just still. It had to be less than that, but it felt like 12, probably 8. Brad goes, Jay, are you in AA? Something to that effect. Like he made a joke. Like, what is this? It's so,
Right.
because he's so smart. He's making a joke like
Right.
to make it less awkward because of
Right.
how anxious I was to introduce two people I cared about.
Right. Right.
And since then, it's been about 200 introductions on the phone, and it's helped me my heart open up again and me to
Oh,
see
good.
myself again, just like you asked. So like, how about that? Because I didn't,
Yeah.
and then we
You.
met. We met at the dinner because
Yep. Of
okay,
that
so
introduction.
they got connected. They became BL keynote. So that's why I was there. I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll support Brad.
It's
Like all those years
dude.
later, that's because of the culture.
I say this all the time. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
and that's who you are.
But it's amazing how an infinitesimal decision to make a phone call created a ripple to where it put me and you in front of each other. Because if you didn't do that, they wouldn't have
That's
met.
why I said the
It's
coincidence. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Because I
I
was
love
thinking,
that. I love that.
yeah, we're on this call because we met at a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the audience is paying attention, this is the whole thing. Go do it. Because we
So
had a dinner because
yeah.
and then they made the decisions they made because well they were a good fit, a culture fit, they got
Yeah.
along well,
Oh, it's
and
perfect. Yeah.
then built a relationship
Yeah.
organically, which is all of them. And then because so okay, now I'm at this thing supporting somebody I care about at the dinner. I'm like being myself because they let me be myself. That's the relationship, that's how I feel around them. And
Right.
I'm like acting, just myself, and then we meet.
That's crazy.
And you were like, leaning in, asking questions people aren't gonna ask.
I told you
I
that
was like, this guy's the best.
I told you that day. I was like,
Yeah.
I go, I don't care who I met. I wanted to meet this guy right here. Because this is, I told
That was
everybody
wonderful.
that day, I go, I met all these people, but Jay Duran was the coolest conversation I had by far that night.
For the people that are listening to this that are thinking they before they turn this on, yeah, there's this event. It's a lot of money,
Yeah.
time.
That
Uh,
there hasn't been, I'll say it this way, Jay. There hasn't been one event that I never invested in myself that hasn't panned out. There hasn't been one event that I've ever invested in myself that has never panned out for me and someone. Every time it's panned out some kind of relationship. Every single time. And to be frank,
oh, wow.
and I don't think I ever told you this before. Maybe I might have told you the story, but the reason why I got there and the reason why
Yeah.
I was able to meet you is because I made a video comment one day on social media. On some post somewhere, someone was asking this question about the physicality of a salesperson and why it's important. So everyone was just
Wow.
making comments, and I went and did a video, and I told this story. I'm not to get into this long story, but I told this story
Oh, no.
about how I used to have a business partner that didn't care so much about their looks. And I went to a job site, and the customer said, "Hey, who's the person that's going to be building my project?" I said, "It's that person right there." The guy walks over to me, takes me to another room privately, and says, "If he can't take care of himself, how's he going to take care of my project?" So I told that story on a video, and Maria Kirby, who's Andy Elliott's
Oh, yes, yes,
right
yes.
hand man, the Kirbys,
Mhm.
reached out to me and said, "Oh, that was a great video. Who the hell are you?" I'm like, "Who the hell are you?" And I didn't know Andy Elliott back then.
I love it. Yeah, because you're teaching their doctrine just because
I didn't. That's
you're
who I.
Regan
That's
Weiss.
right. I didn't know. I never knew them. So she's like, "You don't know Andy Elliott?" I'm like, "No clue. Who is he?" And then I start looking him up. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then she says, "Hey,
It's
my husband's coming to Tampa tomorrow. I'd like you to meet my husband." Okay, what do I have to lose? I live in Tampa.
yeah, yeah,
I meet him, go to lunch. They introduce me to Wade Sweikel. And
yeah.
then
Oh, I love that guy.
and think about it. So they introduced me
Yeah.
to Wade. I meet the Titans. That day, they say, "Hey, can you speak?" I said, "Sure." When? Tomorrow. And I go and speak at their event the next day, unscripted, unrehearsed. I was voted the number one speaker that day, according to
I
Wade.
believe that.
They brought me back. And after that, now I built a relationship. But if I never made that video, it wouldn't have set all of that tone to meet you, meet Sean Crane. Sean Crane, Tommy Miller, like, bro, go to Marco Island. I'll see you there. Think about that.
Hey, what do you tell the audience that thinking that sounds like a lot of work?
If you don't have the energy, if you don't have the energy to build a relationship, I'm sorry, man. It's everything. If you that's I am in the position I am, and quickly, because and you can ask my wife, like, it's an elevation of relationships. I'm like, and I even told years ago, I'm like, "Hey, babe, give me this time, we'll be here at that time." It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
takes time, and then give me this time, we'll be this time, give me this time, we'll be that same thing. But it's relationships. I mean, you're talking to a guy when years ago the market dropped out, didn't understand how to build relationships. And my go-to secure job was I went and got a job at Lowe's and wore a smock to do anything for my family. I want you to think about that.
I want to unpack that.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I was in construction and real estate. 2008, the market died. I didn't understand how to build relationships yet. I had no clue. I had no clue. I knew how to get a job. I knew how to sell, but I never knew how to connect with people. And then when I put an apron around my neck and was happy with I loved working. Being a department manager at Lowe's was probably one of the most fun jobs of my entire life. I'm not joking.
Well, you probably killed it.
It was fun, but my cycle counts were probably bad. But I was fun. But counting the product. But at the end of the day, I started recognizing it's all about building relationships. So Jay, I started a sports marketing company while I was working at Lowe's because I needed to supplement my income because it wasn't enough money to take care of my family. So I did whatever it took to make money. And then when I realized, wait a minute, I'm starting to build these relationships with small business owners in the community. And they were willing to come and market with me and market their business through these local athletes on a local level. That's when I started kicking it in. I'm like, wow, it is all about
We
relationships.
have listeners that are in that position right now.
Mm.
So take them through the process, how to do
So
both, how to get it going.
um, I was 30. So I was old. I was older. I remember I started later in life too, Jay. I'm 47. So I was 32, 33, still later in life than a lot of people, right?
Yep.
And I took the comfort of just making six figures my whole life. I'm like, I'll just make 100, 115, I'll be fine. Because I had a good life.
Yeah.
Market drops out, working at Lowe's for 17 bucks an hour. That sucks, and that's,
40, 50 hours a week. Do they even give you that?
oh yeah, oh yeah, I had the hours, but still, and I had to supplement my income. So what I did was during that time, Jay, small business owner, I one of my lunch breaks, I went to my car, I sat in my truck, and I made phone calls and phone calls and phone calls. Hey, this is Regan Weiss, RW Sports Marketing. Are you looking to market your business through superior athletes in your community? Oh, what does that mean? I go, picture NASCAR. I go, you have a NASCAR, you have their logos all over their chest, all over. I go, but you know what? I'm going to do it for triathletes. So all these triathletes are going to be in uniforms and kits, and you're going to have Rita's Italian Ice, and you're going to have, I don't care what it said, Joe Blow's restaurant down the street. And I'm like, it's for small business owners. And I'm like, for $1,000 a year, whatever the number was, you get to have your logo and sponsor these athletes. And every time they cross the finish line on a local level, they're wearing your stuff. Business after business after business after business. Absolutely, this is a great idea, and it's only $1,000. Yeah, and I was able to finally put myself in a position of like, okay, I know how to market now. Now I know what small businesses are looking for. This is kind of like my thing. I need to do this. And because of that, I got recognized by other companies. And guess what? I left Lowe's right after that because I had companies coming to me saying, "Can you come work for me and market my business?" That's how this happened. So for me, starting a
Oh,
company while I was working and wearing a smock and picking up lumber and concrete bags in between, and no one could take that shit from me. And I got dogged on, man. Trust me. My peers, right? My friends.
really?
What are you doing, bro? What are you were making six figures. Now you're slinging concrete. I had to do whatever I had to do to take care of my family. That's real talk.
Wow.
So
How long did it take and how many hours did you work?
So I worked at Lowe's for 2 years, a little bit over 2 years before before I was able to take off and go and do my own thing. And the answer was I didn't stop. Like my girls were babies back then. They were coming to me with all the triathlons. I dude, think about it. You're a small business owner, solo entrepreneur, if you will. I didn't have employees. It was me. I was excited. I got a tent, right, with the logo and the RW
Uh-huh.
logo. And I had my own shirts and I had all this. And I was handing out, I bought shirts. And that was a big investment to a guy back then, right? Like $1,000 in t-shirts. I'm handing them out, throwing them. I'm like, there's another $4, $5, $5, $5, $5. It was a big deal. But I knew it was going to take that in order to get recognized. Jay, if I did not do that stuff, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be recognized as a marketer within my community. Would have never
Sure.
happened. Would have
Yeah, yeah.
never.
Like how many of the lessons that you learned in that time of humility, temperance, foresight, how many lessons that you've been able to monetize today with the business?
Dude, hundreds. Like,
You see what I'm like there's if you're looking far enough into the future, anybody listening, whatever, like okay, this is the thought I want your thoughts on is the experiences of the past, the jobs that maybe didn't pay as well as my idealized self or where we're at today. In the absence of those experiences and that knowledge, there is no today.
mm,
So I might as well just average the income per year today divided by all the years because I was paying attention the whole time.
right.
It was so I that's why I asked that. I had this another unbelievable leader on the show today, Brian McNally. At least we recorded it today, and man, he was talking to same as you. Like that first job, you'll love this. That first job with Mike Wesley, I think Wesley, a 29K, had just moved back with his mom
Mm.
after college. He said it today, tail between his legs.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy said, "Hey, we're going to get you to 75." He was in that office all day long. And in 3.3 years, he got to see that company go from 0 to 6 million.
Wow.
Many years later, they had this huge exit, him and his partner, Jason. I'll send you the episode. If you're listening to this podcast, it's
Yeah, yeah.
out. Just type in Brian McNally, but I'll send
Okay.
you
Yeah, yeah.
Reagan when we launch it, man.
Yeah.
You guys would love each other. And I was thinking it's the same story. Like Lowe's, side hustle turns business. And today, I mean, that's 17 years ago. Look what you're look what you look where look what you're doing.
And I'm not done. You know, and I feel like I'm going through a rebirth, if you will, and it's a rebirth of business, a rebirth of life, and now on this turnaround, I'm going to have my wife more involved because
I want to ask about that. Yeah.
I never, and this was a part of a big problem of marriage, and I take the blame for it. Is that I never involved her, and I there was a point in time where I didn't think she cared, but that's not the case. It was never the
Wow.
case. Yeah, so you know we've gotten to talking, and like now like coming to events and being involved with events and things that we're doing in the community, and the community, like we just had a local, it was my our first golf tournament for our charity. It was fantastic. We raised $25,000, and you know she's by my side. It's awesome, man. Like it's
What are her best skills?
my wife.
Uh-huh.
She is the most driven person I've ever met in my entire life. She gets things done. I know for a fact that I don't have to even give her a list. She'll make the list and then get the list done. That's how
Wow.
she is. And you know, she's her career. She's been an RN, so she's very caring. And all I've ever seen that anything that she's ever gotten from work or the hospital, the cards, the letters of how good of a person she was to these, you know, to these patients. So, which is also customer service, right? So anyway, on this go around, it's going to be a little bit different. And now my kids are getting older too, Jay. So I'm going to start having my kids involved. I have a 20-year-old. She's 17.
Which one's the entrepreneur?
McKinley is the entrepreneur. My middle. She's 100% the entrepreneur. 100, like she's me. She's me. She looks like mom,
What
thank
Hey,
God.
what's
But
that like to think about, Lowe's in the apron, visualizing this. Now the child is grown.
truthfully, whether I'm in an apron or the financial position I am in today, they still love dad either way, the same way. That's
What do you tell the millennials and Z's listening to this? They're thinking, I don't want to bring a kid in this world. Climate catastrophe.
come on, man. It's even the worst things you could think of with your child. I'd still rather go through that than not have a kid and experience that part of life. Um, and it's your job. Like I said this before about it's your job to protect them. And my kids, they knew like growing up. And if I called my daughter in this room around, I would say, McKinley, what's my job? And she would say, your job is to protect us. And
Ah,
then what's my work? And then marketing, contracting. Like they always knew the difference. They always knew the difference. Even Taylor, my youngest, they're all their birthdays are in
that's
July,
cool.
right? They're all July babies.
Oh, yeah, what
I
is it
guess we
now?
celebrate Halloween, dude. I don't know.
Dude, mine's the ninth. That's why I'm like, oh, that's
Oh, really?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got the 12th, the 14th, and the 23rd.
that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah. So they're all. But even today, I'm like, my job is to protect you. It's that they know that. That's what the mom's job is to protect them too. We don't want to, we don't. But they're gonna do their own thing anyway. You gotta let them. You try, but they got to do their own stuff regardless. But to answer your question, what it's having those girls were the best decision ever. Come on, best thing ever. 100%.
Amen.
Me and Jen look at each other. We're like, thank you for giving each other our children.
Well, amen to that. And I want to acknowledge that, hey, I can tell you, those that have had the opportunity to experience Jenna, my wife, hardest working person,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I'm protected.
Yeah.
And the energy is aimed at the highest,
Hmm.
and I would say that I'm excited to see that selfishly because we're successful because of us. And
Right.
that's, hey, not to impose the bias on everybody listening.
Right.
That's a personal choice. I'm excited that, hey, if you came to that, my bias be like, hey, yeah, Culture Matters became unbelievably successful
Right.
because of us working together.
Hmm.
Now, so that's, if I can share some testimony around that, it forces self-awareness. Something interesting about some of the most amazing family legacies, regardless of how close, because I've studied much of that literature. I'm a member of the Family Firm Institute, an international community of advisors of families
Hmm.
going from generation one to ad infinitum, and 2,000 plus members in the world, of all walks. And what you learn in that world is the importance of the family ritual, the family history, the family vision, and
Hmm.
the capacity of the family to gather and to discuss where they've come from, where they're going, and that some of the strongest family businesses, the patriarch and the matriarch, they're not even on the Forbes. They're
Yeah.
So amen to that.
Yes,
It
brother.
If there's one place, people, they want to pursue a relationship with Regan Weiss, they want to be a part of the Hub network.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
They could simply go to thehubnetwork.com and you can email us right there, and you'll meet with me, my business partner Jordan Long, and we can connect that way. Or if you want to ever reach out to me personally, you could always go to 43inc.net, and you could reach out to me directly there as well. There's I'm all over the place. You can hit me up on Messenger, on Facebook. There's so many places to go there. But you know what, Jay? I always tell this to business owners: put yourself in a position of where you can be Googled and be found. And because a lot of business owners, they come to
Yes.
me and they say, hey, I just want to be, I want to be able to type my name in and be found. How do I do that? You better put a lot of content out there, because I could type in Jay Duran and look at all your stuff that comes up.
Bye, keep going. And Regan, no matter what you do, I know you're going to be successful at it.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Yep.
Please share this with a friend, somebody that lights you up, and we will see you next time in the Culture Matters podcast.
See you, Jay.